special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Annie. I'm a motorsports photographer and I do occasionally work in F1.
Yeah, well, we're so excited to have you on. This has been a long time coming, everyone. We've been trying to organise this for like a good few months now.
Ages.
But we finally got there in the end. Finally, the stars have aligned, and we're so excited to interview you. Ready to go. Got all of our questions locked and loaded.
Yeah.
I'm
so excited to be here.
Yeah, oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Lara, if you want to start off, I don't mind.
Yeah, well, our first question for you is just how did you get into photography?
Okay, so basically I've just been doing it for my whole life. Every time I went somewhere, like on vacation or anywhere, I just brought my camera with me, or with my sisters, I've just been doing like photo shoots in the garden to take pictures for Instagram. So yeah, it's just been a passion of mine for a long time. And so when I went to my first race, to my first F1 race in Monza 2022, I brought the camera with me and I just took a lot of pictures and I was like, wow, that's fun. So I just combined those two passions for motorsports and for photography, and I was like, could be fun to do that more
Loved
often.
it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was there anything specific, like what made you choose to kind of stick with motorsport photography after all this time and going with that? Because obviously I've seen you do some as well for F1 Academy. So what's kind of made you stay in this kind of motorsports area of it all?
It's just simply because I love motorsports that much, and just like the variety of shots you can get. You can get the drivers, you can get like portraits of them, and you can get like the cars on track. It's just like so much you can do. And like if you go to like fashion shoots or something, you just have like the portraits or the full body pictures.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But it's just like the variety of shots you can get at the motorsports race. It's just something different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I took my camera for the first time to the OzGP on the weekend, and literally I felt like it's only like a little one, like one of those little digital like vlogging ones, and I was there the whole time to Lara, move, oh my god, and she's just like, all I can hear in my head is just like click, 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 because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm taking pictures of. I'm just clicking the button, just I'm freaking
Mind
out.
you, I only had my phone and I took millions of photos. Like we got to see Daniel Ricciardo at the fan forum stage, and I think I took 190 photos of him
I'm not surprised.
in about 2 minutes. Like I was out of my mind.
But that's the thing, like you said, like each race weekend is kind of always changing up, so you've always got that opportunity. Sorry, my brother's interrupting. I feel like because definitely. Well, tell us how you kind of started. I guess I've noticed that you started really off in like F1 Academy doing photography there. How did that kind of all come about? Because I feel like that's kind of where it started to get a bit serious by the looks of it from doing our little Instagram stalks. I think like it looked like a lot of it started off more F1 Academy, which is amazing because that's what we love to talk about here. So we'll rack your brain.
Yeah. So basically, it's just because I've heard that there was like this new category coming, like only women, and I was like, that would be so fun to work there. And also, it's simply because you can't really start out in F1; you just have to work up. So I basically texted back and forth with the agency I work with, and they were like, "Yeah, I mean." For the start, you should like start in some smaller categories and like so I was like, how about we try to get to the first F1 Academy race, because like I want to see that. I really want to be there. And so we contacted them and we were like, is there any chance you have media for that race? And they were like, yeah, sure, we accept media for that. And then they were like, okay, just come along. So that was just they tried to get me in, and it just worked out. So it was perfect.
Yeah, that's super fun. That's super exciting. Like I know us especially, we were so excited by the prospect of F1 Academy being live streamed this year. Like I don't know about you, but I have been watching it like every chance I get. And it's just such a cool category. And well, on that, like, what's been your favorite moment to like photograph in F1 or in F1 Academy or even outside of that?
Okay, so I think in F1 Academy, the coolest moment I took pictures of might have been just Bianca on the podium or just like winning in Monza, because she always talked about it before, like Monza is one race she really, really wants to win. And since it was in the program of the WEC race, like the 6 hours of Monza, there were quite a few fans there as well. So she got to celebrate her Monza podium with fans, which was so cool. And she was so happy. You could really see her happiness. So that was, I think, my favorite moment in F1 Academy. And if I think about F1, there might be two moments. So in Austria, I was waiting down in Parc Fermé for the podium. And so basically the photographers there, they meet up in like the hallway to go out to the pit lane. And like 2 or 1 lap before the race ends, you just run out to get the best spots at the barrier to get the best pictures. And since I'm quite small, I always want to be in the front row. So I just ran and ran. And since all the good spots at the start of the barrier were already taken, I just ran to the back. And then suddenly I turn around and I see all red around me. So all the Ferrari mechanics, they were standing all around me. And I was like, oh fuck, what happened?
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, what's just happened? What have I missed?
And then, oh my god. And then I just see Charles running towards me, and I was like, yeah. And I just hold my camera out and take pictures. And then he was hugging the mechanics around me, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do?
Like, what do I do in this situation?
I was just like standing there like, yeah, this is happening. This is really happening.
Yeah, that's insane. So, that's definitely would have been a memorable moment. Definitely. Because it's like, what do you do in that situation with the camera? You got to kind of keep going back, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah. Oops, hopefully she's all right. That's all right. I'll go on without her.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah, that would have been insane. I could just imagine. I don't know how I'd cope in that situation. Like, I feel like he would
I literally froze. I was just standing here looking at him, and I was like,
like, oh my god, it's you. Yeah. I know. I feel like when you see him up close, it feels so surreal. Like, you just have that moment of, oh wait, yeah, no, this is an actual person. Like,
holy moly. Since that was my first F1 race I was working at, I was like,
yeah, meant to be. You're meant to be in this area, definitely. Yeah.
So that was a really, really cool moment. And then the other thing is just simply in Monza, when after the race, all the fans, they stormed the track.
Yes.
Yeah, and like in 2022, I was one of those fans storming the track.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, and then last year, I was standing up on the fence taking pictures of those fans and of a Ferrari, it was Carlos on the podium. So that was so cool. So it was a full circle moment.
Oh, and that's the thing. It's such a full circle moment when things like that happen, and it just feels so amazing. Like, I could just imagine.
Yeah, so that was like a really, really cool moment as well.
Yeah, definitely. Have you been to any of the races so far? They're probably a bit out of your way this year that have started so far, aren't they?
Yeah.
What have we had? We've had.
So from the start, I wanted to go to Bahrain at the start, but then it just didn't work out, like money-wise and everything, and like I didn't have time to go. So that didn't work out, and all the other races, they were like not in my area. So
I was going to say it's a bit of a journey.
Yeah. So far nothing, but I'm planning to go to a few. So yeah.
Yeah, because what's up next that would be closest for you? I need to actually check. I don't actually know.
I think it's Imola. Imola is the next one that's
closest. Yeah.
So
because I think that's after China.
It
is, so May.
I'm hoping it will work out.
Yeah, you've got this.
And
definitely.
Then Monaco is one I'm like 100. I think I'm pretty sure we're gonna go.
Definitely, you should if you've got the opportunity.
I told Lara before, but I had an apartment and it got cancelled today because of a water damage.
No, you're kidding me. Oh, that's so annoying, and it just brings you back that step that you're like, oh my god, like I was so close to having this. Like, can you just make it all?
And now everything's literally double the price it was. So
I could just imagine it would be insane. Like, I could just imagine.
So I'm just literally, my day is going to be looking for a new apartment.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, 100% I'm going to be in Monaco. I got, even if I'm not working, I got tickets to go to the race. So it's like, yeah. So
exactly. So it's like, I've got to be there.
Fingers crossed. We'll keep our fingers crossed for you.
We'll manifest. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what this can be.
Yeah.
Just
So
manifesting
those two
that. Yeah.
are the ones I'm gonna hopefully combine, because like it's like right after each other. It's like
Yeah.
maybe even a triple. No, it's a double header.
I think it's just a double header.
Yeah. So those two are planned, and then I think Austria maybe, and from then on, I'm just looking what I can make work with uni and like money wise, because it's still expensive to go, and since my agency doesn't cover the travel cost, so
oh wow, so everything comes like out of your pocket.
Yeah.
In that sense. Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, like it hurts, but I'm sure it's worth it. And at the end of the day,
yeah, and I'm still only just starting out. It's like my second season working there, so I mean, I'm still really happy. I can even go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any other like motorsport fields that you'd like want to get into working in, or
even just like F2, F3? Like, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to do any photos for there. I don't know if they've been.
Yeah, the thing is with F2 and F3, it's just like you're so busy during the race weekend. So every time you've done your work for F1, you have to edit and send them out right away. So in those times, that's normally where the F2 and F3 sessions are. But yeah, I will try to do a bit more, because like there's some nice people there as well that I want to capture, and like Sophia Flourish. I didn't get a lot of pictures of her, so yeah, it's definitely something I want to do more of this year. But also, since F1 Academy is like in the roster as well, I'm gonna try to just maybe, since it's not a lot in Europe this year, I might only do one of them.
Yeah,
and then some stuff I would love to do is IndyCar, but it's just like another
so far.
The travel.
Yeah,
definitely. No, I understand that.
Yeah, and then Le Mans would be so cool. The 24 hours.
Yeah, that would be amazing to do.
Yeah, and maybe if Seb goes there this year, that would be.
Yeah, I think he's meant to. I did see something recently. So like,
well, people think that Porsche is holding out on like announcing their lineup because they think they're going to sign Seb at least a race before Le Mans. So
yeah, that would be an amazing experience, because there's just so many different drivers there from different categories. You could just go insane. Like that would open up so much for you, definitely. Yeah, because that's soon too. That's June, isn't it?
That's June. Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if I have the time and if I have the money, I might. I might want to do it. But yeah,
definitely.
I kind of want to try a bit of everything. I want to go to Formula E. I want to do like MotoGP even. It's like so I want to.
They're all so different. Like it's worth getting the experience everywhere, and everyone in each environment is so different too. So the things you'd capture would just be so different from each other. Makes it all worth it.
Exactly. Like trying out a bit of everything. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. I've got a couple of questions, Lara, that we haven't wrote down. So I'm just
go for it.
I'm going to like blurt at you. So I'm like, I just better like let Lara know before I start blubbering, and she's like, oh god, here we go. My first question I want to ask was, run us through. It's not really it's half question. Yeah. Could you like run us through like what a day would be like going to the track and doing your photography? Like how does that look like? You know, the kind of getting up, getting there. Obviously, before you just said that you've got to send them out straight away. So like, what's kind of like a weekend look like for you for a race weekend?
Okay, so basically I arrive on Wednesdays normally, because like you have to get the accreditation, you have to sometimes go to the track and get like the media center stuff worked out, because if you do it on Thursday is a bit hectic. So usually I try to be there on a Wednesday. Then Thursday I get to the track a bit later than normally, which is like 8 a.m. probably. And then I just wait at the entrance for the drivers to come in to get those shots of the drivers walking in. And then usually I wait until Lewis is in because he's the last one. Most of the time.
He's the hardest to capture, I feel like, everywhere. He's just so hard to
Yeah,
capture.
yeah, and he's the one everyone wants to see. So I
Yeah,
have to get
yeah.
a picture of him walking in. I have to get like the Lewis Hamilton Fashion Week. So
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
don't miss that. And then after that, I just edit all the pictures, send them out, and that's like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Then I just go to the media obligations, which is like the TV pen and the press conferences, and just like try to cover a bit of everything. And then after that, I don't even know what. Oh, pit lane walk. Sometimes there's a pit lane walk, and then some of the drivers go out and talk to the fans. So I try to take a few pictures of that as well. Or if the drivers do their seat fit, I try to capture that. But like the Thursday is quite. I mean, it's the easiest of the days because you have
Yeah.
like a lot of time between all of the things.
Yeah.
I think I get home from the track at like 5 or 6 on Thursday.
Okay, so not too bad.
Yeah, that's the easiest day. So
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, I get up at like 6 a.m. It depends on how far away I'm from the track, but I try to be there around 7:30 to 8 because if I'm going by car, all the fans are also going by car, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of traffic. So I try to avoid the traffic.
Yeah.
And then I just try to be there around like 7:30, 8. And then same thing, wait for all the drivers to come in. And then sessions usually start at 11, so I try to get everything of the pictures done before that. And then like the pictures out on track, like every session I try to go to different parts of the track, so I don't have the same pictures every day. And yeah, for qualifying, I think I try to be very close to the track so I can run back easily to get to Park Fermé to take the pictures of the drivers coming in. And yeah, then for the race, I only cover like half of the race. And then I run back to get a very good spot in Park Fermé again.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's basically that. And after the race or after qualifying, you just go out to the media pen and try to get a few pictures of that. And then, yeah, after the podium, of course, take pictures of the podium.
Yeah.
I get home at normally around 8 or 9 p.m.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So
Big
long,
4
very
days.
long days.
Yeah, still long days, but it's all worth it. Like if it's something you love, it's just like you wouldn't even think about it. But I could imagine that like once Sunday nights hit, it would just be like, oh, thank God that's over. Like zen now, like loved it.
Do you feel like your days are long, or do you just like not realize and then suddenly it's like 8 o'clock?
I mean, I don't really realize it on the day, but like when I get home to bed and I'm like, oh God, that was hard. And then especially on Monday when I come home from the track, like I'm lying in bed all day. I'm like, that was enough.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be the part where it kicks
Yeah.
in and you're like, oh, this is good. Like to just now do nothing. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
But it seems
So,
like you've got a good routine down pat, though. It seems like you know
Yeah.
what you're doing. You're all over it.
Yeah.
You would
I
need
try
to.
to do my best.
Yeah. I mean, look, you get some really like incredible shots, so, you know, definitely doing more than your best, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. My other question is like the complete opposite of that. What do you do outside of F1 and doing photography? Like what do you do? Like tell us a bit about yourself in that general aspect. Like ignore all the F1 and photography. Like yeah.
Yeah, so basically I'm a university student. I'm studying to be a teacher for English and French.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so something completely different.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. So I'm hopefully in my like last year. Like I have like 1 year left. I'm just writing my thesis this semester. And then just one more year, and yeah, then I'm done with my studies, and then let's see what's coming. But yeah, yeah.
I bet everyone's like, so what's next? And you're like, I have no clue.
I have no clue. I might be a teacher. I might be a photographer. Who knows?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so worth it though. Like it's good that you've got both gates open for yourself. Like teach like this, and they're so different, which makes it good. Is you've got
Yeah.
all these options. That's
Yeah.
crazy though. Like I wasn't expecting it to be that different. I was expecting you to be like,
Yeah, I
oh, I'm just gonna
know.
do like arts and this kind of stuff. Like that's a big jump from
Yeah,
photography.
I know. It's like so different.
Have you studied any photography, or have you picked up all of your skills like just over time?
I literally haven't studied anything. I
That's
just,
amazing though.
yeah, since I've just been doing it for so long, I just pick up different things all around. And if like I'm at a racetrack and I talk to other photographers, they're like, "Have you tried this? Have you tried that?" And I'm like, "No, thanks for
Oh,
pointing that
that's
out. I
good.
might try that out again like soon." And yeah, that's
Yeah,
like you get tips from other photographers. You look online for inspiration, and then you try out new stuff. So you learning by doing, basically. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, trial and error with it all. Yeah.
exactly.
No, definitely. Well, that's good though that you've got that environment where you can actually like speak to other photographers who are willing to be like, oh, like give this a go, like and it's not something where it's like, no, go away, like let
Yeah,
me do my thing. Like that's really good. That would
yeah,
definitely. I think that would make you feel like a lot at ease, like knowing that people aren't going to be like, oh no, like go away.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
instead, no,
exactly.
yeah, let me help. Like yeah, that would be very comforting.
Do you
Definitely.
find that like getting a comfortable spot on the track is competitive, or is it like fairly easy, or?
I mean, it depends. Like, if you are already there on the track and like if you talk to people, it's like you're part of the group, you're like part of them, and it's I think I haven't had any problems with anyone there. So it's like it was for me a very cool experience so far. I've like no problems and yeah, I think for me it was good. All good.
Do you
It's good.
find that there's many other people like doing photography there around your age as well? Like I feel like most of the photographers I know in F1 are a lot older. Like so here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I I've seen like maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'd like the no, wait. There's a bit more. Okay, so in the teams there are some like for
Yeah.
example
Yeah.
Charles is photographer. He's like around 25 maybe or 26, and also his brother. He works for Pierre now, so he's also in my age.
Oh, I saw that actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those two, and then I think for Ferrari, and yeah, there's some other for Ferrari and Alpine. There's some very
Mm.
young guys working there, and yeah, but like from the people I've seen in the media center, they're mostly like older. So
Yeah.
I was like the little girl working there. I think
Yeah.
all the men, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah, because I could just imagine. I feel like any sort of behind the scenes you see, it is always older kind of guys there that have been doing it for
Mm.
ages. So
Yeah,
like that would definitely feel intimidating. Like, hey, don't mind me. Like this way, like
yeah.
don't stress. Like,
No, but
yeah,
there's
because
a few more young people working there. It's just like when you're on track, you only see like the big names, like Kim Il-sung,
Yeah.
for example. He's
yeah,
like the best example for a photographer, and he's like an older white guy you see walking
Yeah.
around there, and that's like a lot of the people, but there's change. There's younger people coming in, more women
definitely
coming
is.
in, so that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you come in contact with like many other women doing photography like similar to you, or?
I don't think so. So far, not really. I mean, some you meet them at the track. So, for example, there's one agency. There are a few women working there, and I talk to them like from time to time.
Mm.
But since in F1 there's not that much, I just talk to the other guys that work there. But yeah, it's getting better. I feel like there's
Yeah.
more women coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I definitely think there is. And like it's still a hard thing to kind of get your foot in the door too, like finding agencies and actually like, you do need to somewhat have some sort of idea, like, the bare minimum of what you're
Yeah,
doing, which is
yeah.
obviously like, you can wrap your head around it. But I do feel like there is definitely a lot of younger people coming into it now because they're kind of like,
Mm.
oh, wait, like if I teach myself this, it's actually not too bad. Like it's
Yeah.
this is something you could
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, but it's like the one thing is like doing the photography part, but then you have to network and get in contact with all those
Yeah,
people, and that's
Yeah.
really hard part because you can be very
definitely.
good at the thing you do, but if you don't know anyone or if you don't know who to contact, it doesn't help you. So that
Yeah.
was that was the hardest part for me to find all those contacts and those email addresses, and so yeah, it took months for me to find all of that and to email all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it, once you've done all that, it's worth it. So
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think once
Yeah.
you can get your foot in the door. So how long
yeah.
did it like take you to actually get in contact with an agency then that finally was like, yeah, no, we'll take you on board? Like, was it like a bit of a tedious process by the sounds of it?
I mean, most of them didn't even reply.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing. And then you
Typical.
that's one
like,
part of it. But since yeah, I think it took around 2 to 3 months, which still isn't
Mm.
a lot. It isn't a long time. But
yeah.
yeah, since one of the photographers that works for the agency, he followed me on Instagram already. He was like, "Oh, I've seen your work, and yeah, it would be fun. You can just like come on for one race, one junior category race, and then we see how it's going. Because apparently they always need new photographers,
Oh,
which is
really?
good.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was like that because
Yeah.
every other person that replied was basically like, no, we don't need anyone else. So I was like, oh, well. And the good thing is it's also a German agency, so it's like local to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
convenient.
That
Perfect.
worked
Yeah,
out
it works
pretty
really
well for
well.
me. But yeah, like 2 3 months. I thought it was gonna take a lot longer, but
Mm.
I guess I was lucky.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, it's such a good thing, and seize every single opportunity you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on that, like, what other advice would you have for like other women, young people generally that want to get into photography, sports photography in that profession?
So the one thing I always tell people when they ask me that is just like you have to just go out and take pictures because like there's people who've never held a camera in their hands and they're like, how do I get into photography? And it's basically just like pick up a camera, go out and take pictures.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
there's some people who don't have a track, like an F1 track local to them. It's just basically like go anywhere. If there's like a karting track in the area you live, just go there, go to like it doesn't even have to be a race, just like a free session for
Mm.
where people
Yeah.
are driving. Just take pictures of that. Or if nothing is in your area, go to a road and take pictures of road cars. Something like
Yeah.
just like to get practice and to know what you're doing because yeah, and then just practice and practice, and then if you are a motorsports fan you will maybe go to a race once in your lifetime, and then
Yeah.
just bring along your camera and take pictures. So that's basically what I did and it worked for me. So yeah, just practice, practice, practice.
Yeah. Because have you
Yeah.
taught yourself like how to edit all your photos? Like, have you just done that all self-taught as
Yeah, yeah.
well?
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I got
impressive.
inspiration from like different people,
Yeah.
um, but um, like once you know what you like, you just tweak stuff, and then you get your perfect like edit, and
Yeah.
then yeah, you have
Yeah, you
like
kind
your
of find your niche.
yeah, and then you have your presets, and then you just go from there and tweak little things.
Yeah.
So
Right.
exactly.
Did it take you long to figure out like how you wanted to edit your photos, or did that come fairly naturally or easy?
I mean, I try out different things all the time. So when I started out my Instagram account, my photos looked quite different, or like the edits I did looked quite different. I mean, they're all kind of similar-ish. They're all
Mm.
pretty in the warmer stuff, like on the warmer side of the lighting. And then I just try to get like I don't know. I just try out different things, and yeah, I think like since the last race, I've perfected like the perfect edit for me. But that can change like in a few months again. But so
Yeah,
far,
absolutely.
I'm quite happy with what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone's opinions on pictures changed often too, like fan-wise, like going, oh, okay, these are getting similar now, and so it's nice to see it being changed up every once in a while, and I feel like you would know that too as well, seeing everything and going, okay, this is all getting like a bit on top of each other. Let's spice it up a little. Let's do a little bit of this.
Yeah, that's why I try to go like different routes. Maybe try out different things, take pictures from different areas, just so not everyone posts the same pictures. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do have two more questions for you.
We just keep going.
We do a thing called a hot lap question. Basically, we're going to ask you a question and we want you to give us the first answer that comes into your head. Don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
So our first question for you is, if you had to pick one driver to teach French that's a non-native speaker, who would you pick?
Oh, fuck. Probably Max, because I feel like he'd learn it pretty easily, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he would.
But, I mean, he already lives in Monaco, and he might know a bit of it already. But I feel like he's quite natural when it comes to languages. He speaks German, he speaks Dutch, English, and what else? I think that's it. But still, he speaks a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
That's a lot.
But like, if I think about other drivers like Lando, maybe he doesn't seem like he would want to learn it.
I feel like that would be hard work.
I was going to say, I feel like getting Lando to focus would be difficult.
He'd be going like, hello. Like, I feel like Max would be easier because I think he would just sit there and go, yeah, okay, let's do it. Get it over with. Or I think Lando, you literally have to be like, okay, let's just listen.
Eyes up here.
Exactly, over here. I could not imagine having to deal with that. I would lose it quick. Oh, funny. Awesome. So we've got one more hot lap question. Our next one is, if you had to pick one driver to do a photo shoot with for the day, who would it be?
Lewis. It's
Lewis,
so
easy.
Yeah, easy.
Question ever, because he's so photogenic. Every picture you get of him, he looks good in it. It's insane.
It's insane.
I don't know what it is. I really don't. Like, I was even going through the photos I took from the Australia GP, and absolutely, I was going through them, and I'm like noticing, like, you know, in some with, like, for example, Lando and Oscar, one of them smiling, the other isn't, and it's like it looks dodgy. I was going through my Mercedes ones. There is not one bad photo of Lewis or George that I've got of them together. I was going through it, and they are every single one. He looks fantastic. And
it's British men. I think it's British men. They're just so perfectly poised.
Not one bad picture, and I don't get it.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Know. It's just and also he's just natural with photo shoots. He's been doing it a lot, so I think he's just like the perfect person for that.
What kind of photo shoot would you take him out to do? Like, what kind of vibe are we thinking?
Probably like fashion shoots.
Yeah.
He's just.
I feel like he'd love that.
I feel like he'd be more for the basic stuff. I feel like if you made him go out and do some full blown stuff, he'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing to me?" Like, just grab him a chair, put a coat on him, and he'd be so thrilled. Like,
perfect.
Like that, and literally, and that's all it would take, and everyone would be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
It'll be insane to see him in red and Ferrari then next year. I hope you get to get some good shots with that, because that will be mental. The change of people will just be insane.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't really I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Yeah,
neither.
I was like, it's not true.
I genuinely thought that he would retire before he moved teams. Like, that's what I fully thought. But
when it got announced, it was like late at night here when Sky Sports posted something, but it wasn't confirmed. It was just Sky Sports made the post, and like Lara and I were like, "There's no way." Like,
there's no way.
It's Sky Sports, but I don't believe it for a second. And then the next morning, like, Lara's woken up and texted me and gone, "Oh my god!" Like, my Instagram,
it's real.
Lara just sending me everything, confirming, like, Lewis's post, Ferrari's post, everything. I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, I can't believe it.
Because we posted on our TikTok that evening, and I was like, I have to make sure that my sources are like vaguely credible.
It'll be interesting to see if they make him the first driver instead, though, to Charles, because like I feel like that won't go down well for Charles. It's like, it'll be interesting if that's what'll happen. I feel like neither of them have ever really been, like, I mean, Charles has been a second driver before, but, like, in this perspective, I feel like the two of them are such first drivers now that it's going to be like, oh, lordy.
It's going to be an interesting season.
One of the reasons why I couldn't believe that it was real, because I did not think that Ferrari would have, like, 2 number 1 drivers.
Yeah. That's like, what got me too, is I still am so curious to how they'll work around that and like who they'll prioritize.
It could go so wrong. It could go like Mercedes 2016 with the Nico Lewis.
And I reckon that's exactly,
Mercedes all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it going well. Yeah, no, I can't imagine. Do you have any other predictions for next year on where people are going? Because obviously we've got the free Mercedes seat now and we've got Carlos floating around and I feel like someone wants to snatch him up. Like Christian Horner made a statement the other day saying, like, Carlos is good.
Yeah, it's so crazy and I really can't, I don't know where anyone would go because it's like so different.
Yeah.
Because like we might have a spot at Red Bull, we might have something at Aston Martin, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think both Alpine contracts are up at the end of this year or next year or something.
Yeah, I think more than half of the grid is like up in the air. But I kind of see Kimi Antonelli maybe coming in.
Really?
Okay.
I don't know, but I think that Toto really wants him. Because there has to be a reason why he only gave Lewis like the 1+1 deal. Because he wants like him for the future. So maybe that now that Lewis is gone, he might want to have him in the seats maybe a year before to prepare for the regulation change. But I
definitely reckon that they'll take him on as a reserve. Like, without a doubt. Like, even if they have him in F2 for one more year, have him as a reserve and then bring him in, like, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I personally think that they should do. Not that I'm an expert, but like, because he didn't do F3, because he skipped straight from Freca to F2. I'm like, that's a massive jump. And then to step into F1 only a season later is a lot. And for Mercedes to take on a really young rookie is a lot. So I don't know.
It'd be interesting. It'd be good to see Ollie Behrman on the grid. I have a feeling he will end up on there next year.
Yes, God, I love Ollie, and it was so great to see him in the race. It was like, but since that Lewis news came out for Ferrari, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Anything can happen. Max can leave.
Maybe Max is going to retire. Like, who knows?
What's going on? And like, my family will always be like to me, where do you think people are going to go? I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I clue.
This year, I cannot wrap my head around it.
It's too hard to make predictions. Like,
it really
usually
is.
It's not this hard though, but this year is stressful. Like, silly season is going to be insane.
Yeah, silly season has already started, and I'm not prepared for
it. I know.
I'm not mentally ready.
It literally started before the season itself started. Like, how am I supposed to make it through the rest of the season?
Exactly. And I feel like I reckon it's going to all just hit at once, though. Like, I don't think it'll be scattered. I reckon just, like, in 1 week, it's going to be like, bam, 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 this is where everyone is, and everyone's going to be like, wait.
I think that's a solid bet.
Too much.
Yeah, like, breathe. We need gaps between news releases. Take your time. Like, we need the time to, like, react and mourn everyone, and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because, I can just imagine. I can see it already now. It's going to be chaos.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I think we will wrap it up there. Thank you so much for coming on. We have absolutely loved chatting to you. This has been months in the making, so we're very happy it finally happened. Thank you to anyone listening, anyone watching. Follow us on social media. Follow Annie on all of her social media. That will all be linked in the description below. And keep your eye out for some future episodes because they'll be very exciting.
Yes, and keep your eye out for Annie's work because she's going to be, was it Imola? Imola? Yeah, the next one.
I hope so. But if not Imola, I'm going to be in Monaco. So
if not, you'll be seeing pictures of Lewis Hamilton up close and personal very soon. Stay tuned.
Keep your eye out for those ones.
Yeah, they'll be there. So definitely check Annie out. She's got some amazing work. definitely worth having a look at. And yeah, we've loved having you on. We've been so keen for months since we are. So we're like, okay, finally it's happened. I was in the car driving to get here and I was like, it's going. Like, do not tell her we're changing. I will be there.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
So great. It was so great, and I'm so thankful for you to have me on here. It was like,
Of
it was a great
course.
time. I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, we're glad.
Oh,
We're
we're so
happy to
glad
have
to
you
hear
on. And
that.
hopefully we can have you on again in the future too. Get a bit of an update with where you are and everything.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, yeah, that's all from us. Thank you so much.